Hello everyone and welcome to a tutorial video. I have had people asking me to do a tutorial on my Guardian farm, which is super simple, and I have decided to do that. So the reason you would want a Guardian farm is prismarine and prismarine crystals, which can be made into all of these blocks down here, especially the sea lantern. I absolutely love this block. I think right now it's the best lighting source in the game. You can also get lots of cod from these farms, which I use to trade for emeralds. So those are the things that you can get from it, and it takes quite a bit of time. This is an easy version of the farm portion of this, but to get the best rates, you do have to remove all of the water from around these farms, and there are lots of different ways to do that. This video isn't going to be a tutorial on how to remove the water. How I did it in my survival world was I knocked out the top structure of this while I was underwater using invisibility and water breathing potions. And then I dropped sand all the way around the outside of it so that the water wouldn't flow in. So you just have to go to the very bottom corner. So the very bottom block that you see prismarine, that's as low as you need to go. And then all the way to the top. And you want to place sand around it in this way. So basically you just walk around and place sand like this until you're around the monument, and then you drain the water from the inside. So I did the top portion of it with flying machines, because flying machines moving destroys water sources, and I did the lower portion of it with a series of sponges and just placing sand. So all of the stuff inside the actual monument itself, you can take sponges, and going through here you can remove the water. Of course, when the water is not outside anymore, it makes that easier, and it's there's ways to do it. See, there you go. This room is already dry, and that was just 2 sponges. So you would just go through here and remove the water systematically like this. But like I said, this video is not a tutorial on how to remove the water from the monument. This is about how to build up my farm. So I'm just going to clear this out with commands, and then I'm going to show you how I do that. Now, just to show you what I was talking about with the top section removal, the only part that I usually remove is this section here and upwards. So we can just take it up to like 60. There you go. That's the flat section that I usually think is the best to make. And then now this section under here now technically can spawn mobs. So you can either leave the water under here, because guardians can't spawn under here. I removed it with the command, but you can also light it up. Doesn't really matter as long as no mobs can spawn down there. Now we have this totally cleared and covered off. So the blocks that we need are glass. Any type of glass will do. We also need hoppers. There's 2 different ways to do this, but I am going to do it with hoppers. And then we are also going to need some chests just to collect it. And we will need water and kelp to bring the water up. And then soul sand to flush the guardians. Now, the best thing about this farm is that it's completely variable, so you can make it as big or as small as you want to. What I like to do is 3 across, and then of course we need our glass. And then you want to run the soul sand for as wide as you want this farm to be. I like to go pretty much the width of the monument, so we'll come out to about here on this side and the same on the other side. Once you have that done, you can get in here with your glass, and you want to surround the soul sand and start working your way upwards. And we need to go up at least 34 blocks from the floor 1 block up, because that's where our hoppers will be, and 34 blocks is the minimum required to drop a guardian and for them to die instantly, and that is what we want. We don't want them to suffocate, because as long as they're there, they're taking up the mob cap and more guardians can't spawn. So efficient guardian farming is all about how quickly you can get rid of the guardians. So we're going to build this box up like this, 34 blocks at least, and then we will put in the water. So once we have the box built up, what we want to do is come through here and fill the entire thing with water sources. Now we want to make sure that the center is all water sources as well. So usually the best way to do that is to place a row of blocks along the back, do all of the water sources at these sides, and then you can take out that row of blocks and put them in, and that way it's all water sources, and you want to do that for the entire thing. Once that's finished and you have your water sources in, you're going to see that guardians can spawn. They won't spawn while you're down here because you'll be too close, but then what you can do is come through here and place in the kelp. And you want to place this all the way up, because that will make this all water sources to the very top. And then once you've done that on all of them, you can also bone meal it. So you can put this here and then you can get bone meal. This can actually be a bit faster if you do it right, because it'll just fire it up to the top and you never have to go up to the top. You can just keep bone mealing it until it gets to there where it can't go any further. And then you just have to break these, and those are full water sources, and they will shoot the guardians up to the top. So you just have to make sure that it's all water sources for everything here. Now the next step is ensuring that the guardians are flushed over and down now that they're being pushed up to the top. Now the easiest way to do this is with selective water sources. So what we want to do is basically gradually bring the water sources down, 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 so that the water flows downhill. And basically we do that by flushing them like this over, and then we would have a gate at the front open to stop them from being flushed away. And then all of these would be water sources. And I broke a glass pane just like that. This would be, of course, all the way across this. Gotta make sure the hitbox comes up there. Yeah, these would be all the way across. Open, 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 open. And then this is sort of what it needs to look like all the way along. So at the end of that, you end up with something that looks a little bit like this. And then you want to build up your wall just a tiny bit further. And the very last thing that you need is a roof for the spawning section of this, because guardians spawn much better when there is not direct light. There we go. Once the roof is in place, you can see how quickly the guardians start spawning from up top here. And that is because once you move up, there's nowhere that other mobs can spawn in the caves down below. So you will get tons upon tons of guardian drops, and you can see the amount. I was only up there for about a minute, and you can see already, look at all the stuff that has come down. Now there's different ways to collect the loot. You can just let them drop onto the floor, and you could have a hopper minecart down below. What I like to do is to have just a series of hoppers. This is what I have in my survival world. So it's just a 3 wide block of hoppers, and they just go the length of the farm to there, and on the other side going this way. And we left enough room that it's okay that this is 1 block higher. The guardians will still die immediately on the hoppers, which you'll see in just a second. Just like that. That'll be enough to catch them, and then you'll see as soon as we go up far enough that they will just start spawning like crazy. That is the difference. There they go. Tons of guardians spawning, and we'll see them drop and start dying on the hoppers. Now I also, in my world, have this closed in glass up to the top, just so that none of them can fall outside of the hoppers, but as you can see, it doesn't really happen. I think that was there before. There, I've now picked up everything. If I just go up for a second, we will see tons of guardians spawn. We can go all the way up to there pretty much. That is the 128 block range, which means nothing can spawn underground. But the guardians are also out of our render distance here, so you can just see the particles of all of them falling, and you can see how many particles there actually are and how many guardians are actually going into this. And then we can come down and you see nothing outside of there. So you can put a cage around this, but it's not totally necessary. Well, they can fall outside of it. So you can put a cage on it. It's not totally necessary. You could also add more hoppers, but yes, every once in a while they will fall outside of it. So it's up to you. You could also just, I know, up at the top here, place a set of glass just up here so that as they fall out, they hit and then drop down. So they wouldn't fall outside of this. You wouldn't have to do the entire thing in glass, but that is totally up to you. And then this is a working guardian farm. I mean, all you would have to do is put a chest in the middle here and collect your stuff. I have quite a few chests actually, but you can see even just now all of the stuff that we have gotten in just a few minutes. So this creates, and I'm saying this, thousands of items an hour. Just having this one portion of it. You can make 4 of these. You can put 1 in each side if you really want a lot of guardian drops. And then there's different ways to do the storage system. The way that I plan on actually altering mine on my world is putting droppers in here. So droppers here with observer clocks so that they spit out their items immediately, just like that. And just like that. And then I want them to go into a water stream, which will go like this. So there's a water stream, and then it will round the corner, and then we will put ender chests here to line up the items so that we can do a line of copper item sorters here. So the item sorters would go that direction, just like this, just like that, and then you would have slabs on top of here, just like this. The item sorters would be underneath, and then you would just need some packed ice and pressure plates and some more water, just like that. And then you put more water and you just keep running it along like that. And you can have as many filters as you want, and then it's automatically sorted down below. So I'm planning on retrofitting mine on my survival world to that, but this is the farm. This is how I built mine up, and it is super efficient. Even just a small amount of AFKing here, you can get tons of sea lanterns, tons of prismarine, tons of the cod that I was talking about, which I use to trade. And you can see just flying out of here is items and items and items. That doesn't turn that corner, actually. You would need to do something a little bit different. You'd probably need a water source on the corner there. So you would replace these with packed ice pressure plates, water. So they get flushed in like that, aligned and along, and they go into the hoppers, which would actually be item filters. So you would only pick up what you wanted. But that is going to be it for this tutorial video. If you're interested in seeing a full tutorial for the sorting system that I build up, which is a loop, so it would go here, back, around, and it would feed back into itself so that the items would have multiple passes to go over the hoppers and automatically sort it. If you're interested in seeing that, let me know down in the comments, but that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.